Welcome to the Prescott Lab podcast, not just theory, practical science for everyone. Gentlemen, let me speak to you directly. If you are over 60 and your erections have become softer, weaker, or sometimes disappeared completely, this is not just a private frustration. This is your body's early warning system. A signal that your heart, your blood vessels, and your hormones are no longer working together in harmony. And here's what most doctors never tell you. Research shows erection troubles often appear years before a man is diagnosed with heart disease or low testosterone. That means your first warning sign isn't chest pain. It's silence in the bedroom. That's the truth nobody bothered to say out loud. My name is Dr. Jonathan Prescott. For over 3 decades, I've worked with men in their 60s, 70s, and beyond, men who thought decline was inevitable. I've seen them restore vitality, regain confidence, and reclaim their manhood. Not with miracle pills, but with simple, science-backed steps any man can do at home. Now, before I walk you through the exact 7 steps, let me ask a favor. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell, because I release routines like this every week, and I don't want you to miss the one habit that could change your life. And tap the like button right now, not for me, but for you. Every like pushes men's health further into the spotlight, helping thousands of men like you get the truth instead of silence. And while you're here, drop a comment. If this message speaks to you, type 1. If you think I can sharpen my message, type 0. Either way, I read every comment and every single one helps me guide this community better. So let's begin. The very first step in reclaiming your vitality starts the moment you wake up. Not with coffee, not with pills, but with hydration. Gentlemen, tomorrow morning, your day begins with filtered water and lemon. Gentlemen, when you first open your eyes in the morning, your body is in a state of quiet recovery. Hours have passed with no fluids, your liver has been working through the night to clear toxins, balance hormones, and keep your blood chemistry in check. And yet, most men reach for coffee the very moment they rise. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not here to demonize coffee. It has its place. But your body does not wake up asking for caffeine. It wakes up begging for clean hydration. Think of it this way, your liver is the control center for testosterone. If it's sluggish, your hormones stumble. If it's primed, your hormones fire. And what primes it best at dawn is not espresso, it's water. Clean, filtered water with the bright spark of lemon. Why lemon? Because lemon delivers citric acid and antioxidants that gently stimulate the liver, helping it clear out excess estrogen, the silent rival of testosterone. And here's the biology. When estrogen rises, testosterone falls. That's not opinion, that's chemistry. I've asked this question to thousands of men over the years. What's the first thing you drink in the morning? Most say coffee. And then I watch what happens when they switch to water with lemon. Within weeks, they come back to me saying, "Doctor, I feel lighter when I wake up. My head is clearer. And yes, I'm waking up harder." This is not magic. This is physiology. Hydration restores blood volume, making it easier for your heart to deliver oxygen and nutrients. And remember, erections depend on blood flow. If you wake up dehydrated, you're already handicapping your performance before the day even begins. So tomorrow morning, before you touch the coffee pot, pour yourself a tall glass of filtered water. Squeeze in half a fresh lemon. Drink it slowly, deliberately, like you're priming the engine of your body, because that's exactly what you're doing. You are charging your circulation, supporting your liver, and giving testosterone the environment it craves. And here's my challenge to you. Try this for 1 week. 7 mornings, and then come back here and tell me in the comments what you noticed. I promise you this, your body will not stay silent. Once you've primed the engine with water and lemon, it's time for the next spark. And this one doesn't come from your kitchen at all. It comes from something ancient, powerful, and free, the morning sun. Gentlemen, there is something almost sacred about those first rays of sunlight. Step outside within the first hour of waking and you'll feel it, a warmth that no cup of coffee can ever match. It's not just a poetic image, it's biology at work. Your body runs on rhythms, and light, real sunlight, is the master switch. When those rays hit your eyes and your skin, they send a powerful message to your brain: it's morning. Shut down melatonin. Spark the cascade of hormones that drive vitality. I've seen this play out countless times in my clinic. Men in their 60s and 70s who were dragging through the day, tired, flat, even depressed, until they made a habit of morning sunlight. Within weeks, they reported sleeping better, feeling calmer, and yes, waking up with stronger, more dependable erections. Here's why. Sunlight triggers what's called the cortisol awakening response. Now, some men hear the word cortisol and think stress hormone. But in the morning, cortisol is not your enemy. It's your spark plug, the natural jolt that gives you focus and energy for the day ahead. And when cortisol rises in sync with the sun, testosterone follows. Your body gets back into rhythm, and when your rhythm is in tune, your erections follow suit. I'll tell you a story. One of my patients, George, 68 years old, a retired mechanic, told me he felt like a shadow of his younger self. He thought he needed more supplements, more pills, more complicated treatments. But when I asked him to simply stand outside for 10 minutes every morning, he was skeptical. 3 weeks later, he looked at me with a grin and said, "Doc, I don't know if it's the light or some kind of magic, but I feel alive again." It wasn't magic. It was sunlight restoring his circadian rhythm, rebalancing his hormones, and reawakening his confidence. And the best part, sunlight costs nothing, no prescription, no equipment, just discipline. Even on cloudy days, the light is strong enough to reset your body clock. So tomorrow, gentlemen, before you scroll your phone, before you sink into the routine of the day, step outside. Let that light touch your face. Breathe it in. You're not just soaking up sun. You're charging your nervous system, setting your testosterone for the day, and telling your body, it's time to live. And once you've fueled your body with water and sunlight, it's time to unlock another hidden power, one that comes not from outside but from within. A simple practice with your breath that can change everything. Gentlemen, once you've primed your body with water and sunlight, the next step is about unlocking the power already inside you. It costs nothing, requires no equipment, yet it can transform the way your body functions. I'm talking about alternate nostril breathing, just 2 to 3 minutes, that can change the chemistry of your day. I still remember teaching this to a patient in his 70s. He laughed at me at first. "Doctor, how is breathing through my nose going to help me in the bedroom?" But he trusted me. 2 weeks later, he returned with a quiet smile. "I feel calmer in the mornings and I'm waking up harder." That's when he realized this ancient practice isn't superstition, it's physiology. Here's why it works. Most men wake up already in fight or flight mode. The sympathetic nervous system is firing, stress hormones are spiking, and the body is bracing for battle. But erections cannot thrive in that state. They depend on the opposite, the parasympathetic system, the one we call rest and restore. Alternate nostril breathing flips the switch. Slowly inhaling through one nostril, exhaling through the other, you guide your nervous system back into balance. Blood pressure lowers, tension eases. And here's the hidden key. This practice triggers the release of nitric oxide. Gentlemen, nitric oxide is the signal your blood vessels need to relax and open. Without it, no pill, no supplement, no wishful thinking can deliver a reliable erection. With it, your circulation flows where it must: your heart, your brain, your manhood. I've seen men use this practice not only to restore their intimacy, but also to steady their anxiety, sharpen their focus, and reclaim their sleep. They describe a sense of alignment, as if their body and mind are finally working together again. And when your nervous system is in harmony, performance follows. So tomorrow morning, sit quietly, close one nostril. Inhale, switch, exhale, slow, deliberate, intentional. With each cycle, remind yourself, I am priming the system that controls my strength, my focus, my manhood. And once you've steadied your breath, you'll be ready for the next discipline. It doesn't come from breathing, and it doesn't come from movement. It comes from a shift in how and when you eat. A shift that may hold the key to unlocking testosterone in ways you never imagined. Gentlemen, let me challenge one of the oldest rules you've been told. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. That advice was never written for men in their 60s or 70s. It was written by cereal companies, and here's the truth. Eating too early can work against your hormones, your metabolism, and your erections. When you wake up, your body is still in a natural fasting state. Insulin is low, growth hormone is steady. Your system is primed to burn fat and reset its chemistry. The moment you load it with food, especially sugars or carbs, insulin spikes, fat storage begins, and testosterone quietly slips away. You've just shut down the very balance that protects your vitality. Time-restricted eating or simply delaying your first meal by a few hours keeps you in that powerful fasting state longer. The result? Fat melts away, insulin sensitivity improves, inflammation drops, and testosterone rises. And let me be clear, belly fat is not just about looks. It's a biochemical factory pumping out estrogen, the hormone that steals a man's strength. Every inch you lose around the waist gives you back a piece of your manhood. I'll share a story. One of my patients, Harold, age 66, a retired firefighter, came to me frustrated. He was eating healthy breakfasts every morning, oatmeal toast, fruit, yet his energy was crashing by mid-morning and his waistline kept expanding. I asked him to try something simple. Skip breakfast, hydrate, get his sunlight, do his breathing, and wait until late morning to eat. Within 6 weeks, he had dropped nearly 12 pounds, his pants fit looser, and the biggest change, he said, "Doc, I'm waking up with the kind of firmness I thought was gone forever." This is not about starving yourself. It's about letting your body finish what it was designed to do overnight. Clean house, burn fat, balance hormones. And when testosterone rises, so does your energy, your drive, and your confidence. So tomorrow, instead of rushing to the kitchen, give yourself the gift of patience. Delay that first meal. Let your body tap into its reserves. You'll feel sharper, lighter, and yes, more alive where it matters most. And once you've mastered your metabolism, it's time to master something even deeper. Not with food, not with supplements, but with your state of mind. Because the next step is about gratitude, the hidden medicine that rewires not just your body, but your entire life. Gentlemen, let me share something that may surprise you. One of the most powerful medicines for your erections, your hormones, and your vitality does not come in a pill. It comes from your mindset. 2 simple words: practice gratitude. I know what you may be thinking. Doctor, how on earth is saying thank you supposed to help me in the bedroom? I used to hear that all the time. Men with furrowed brows, skeptical eyes, sitting across from me saying, "Doc, I came here for real solutions, not philosophy." And every time I would smile, lean forward and say, "This is not philosophy, this is biology." Let me explain. Stress is one of the greatest enemies of male vitality. Chronic stress pushes cortisol sky high, and when cortisol stays high, testosterone plummets, blood vessels constrict, and the very chemistry needed for erections is strangled. In fact, I've seen men with perfectly healthy hearts and good lab numbers still suffer in the bedroom simply because stress dominated their lives. Gratitude is the antidote. When you take even 2 minutes in the morning to reflect on what you're grateful for, your health, your family, your partner, even something as simple as sunlight on your skin, you flip a switch in your nervous system. Cortisol lowers. Serotonin and dopamine rise. Your blood vessels relax. Your parasympathetic system, the one responsible for rest, recovery, and yes, erections, takes control. This isn't just my opinion. Brain imaging studies have shown that gratitude lights up the reward centers of the brain, the same regions activated during moments of intimacy. Gratitude literally rewires your brain for connection and pleasure. Let me tell you a story. A man named Robert, 69 years old, came to me defeated. His wife had passed years earlier, and though he had found companionship again, he felt disconnected from his partner, his body, and his sense of manhood. His words to me were heavy. "Doc, I feel like my body doesn't respond anymore. I'm tired, I'm flat, I've lost my spark." We made several adjustments to his lifestyle, but I gave him one assignment he didn't expect. Every morning, write down 3 things he was grateful for. He scoffed at first. "Doctor, I'm an engineer, not a poet. This isn't me." But he trusted me and he did it. Weeks later, he returned. His posture was different, shoulders back, eyes brighter. He placed the small notebook on my desk. Its pages were filled. "I didn't think this would matter," he said, "but I feel lighter. I feel closer to my partner, and Doc, my mornings are stronger again." Tears welled in his eyes, not tears of weakness, but of relief. What happened to Robert wasn't magic, it was biology. Gratitude eased his stress, unlocked his nervous system, restored his hormonal balance, and opened the door for his body to respond again. Here's the part most men overlook. Erections are not born in effort. They are born in relaxation. You cannot force blood into the right places if your body is clenched in stress. You must allow it. And gratitude is the key to allowing. So how do you practice it? Keep it simple. Each morning, right after your water, your sunlight, your breathing, and your fast pause, take 2 minutes. Write down 3 things you are grateful for. They don't need to be grand. They just need to be real. Maybe it's your grandchildren. Maybe it's the strength you still have in your legs. Maybe it's the fact that you woke up today and have another chance to live. And here's something even more powerful. Speak it. Tell your wife, your partner, your son, your daughter, even a friend. Look them in the eyes and say, "I'm grateful for you." The ripple effect of that moment does more for intimacy than any prescription. When your partner feels seen, when your family feels valued, the bond deepens. And deep bonds feed directly into the kind of intimacy every man craves. Gentlemen, practicing gratitude is not weakness, it is strength. It is a daily discipline that calms the storms inside your body, making room for testosterone to rise, for blood to flow, for your spirit to feel alive. I've had men tell me, "Doc, this feels too soft, too simple." But those same men came back months later saying, "This was the missing piece. This made me feel like myself again." So tomorrow morning, before the chaos of the day begins, take that quiet moment. 3 things, 2 minutes. 1 practice that could transform the way your body responds. And once you've steadied your spirit with gratitude, we move to another mental practice. It's not about giving thanks. It's about seeing yourself as you want to be. A powerful tool that athletes, lighters, and yes, men like you have used for centuries. A practice called visualization. Gentlemen, by now you've hydrated, you've stepped into the morning sun, you've steadied your breath, you've delayed your breakfast, and you've practiced gratitude. Each of these habits strengthens your body, but there's another practice that strengthens something just as important, your mind. And believe me, your mind is not separate from your performance. It is the steering wheel of the entire system. This practice is called visualization. And before you dismiss it as daydreaming, let me make something clear. Visualization is not fantasy. It is mental rehearsal. It is training your brain to see success so vividly that your body begins to prepare for it. I'll tell you about a man named Charles, age 72, a retired pilot. He sat in my office, his voice steady but his eyes heavy. "Doctor, my body doesn't feel like it listens to me anymore. I feel disconnected. Even when I want to be intimate, I freeze." I asked him to try something simple. Each morning after his gratitude practice, close his eyes for 60 seconds and picture himself strong, confident, and fully present with his partner. He looked at me skeptically. "Doc, you want me to imagine myself into performance?" And I told him the truth, yes, because your brain can't tell the difference between a vividly imagined moment and a lived one. 3 weeks later, he returned, posture taller, voice lighter. "Doctor," he said, "it's strange. I feel calmer, more focused. And when the moment comes, my body doesn't freeze anymore, it responds." Here's the science. Brain imaging shows that when you visualize yourself standing tall, performing confidently, those same neural pathways fire as if you were actually doing it. dopamine is released, the chemical of motivation and reward. That dopamine doesn't just lift your mood, it primes your nervous system for action. It builds anticipation, readiness, and the sense of I can. And when your brain believes you can, your body follows. Athletes have used visualization for decades. A sprinter pictures the perfect start before stepping onto the track. A golfer rehearses the swing in his mind before taking the shot. Why should it be any different for you? A man's intimate performance, his vitality, his strength, these are not accidents. They are rehearsals carried out by the body, guided by the mind. Visualization also quiets performance anxiety, one of the hidden killers of erections. When you replay past failures in your head, your nervous system locks up, stress hormones rise, and your body shuts down. But when you replace those images with clear, intentional visions of success, you are rewiring your brain's response. Instead of fear, your body feels readiness. Instead of hesitation, your body feels confidence. I remember another patient, Marcus, age 65, who admitted to me, "Doc, my problem isn't that I can't perform, it's that I panic. The thought of failing shuts me down." I gave him the same tool, 1 minute of visualization every morning. He scoffed but agreed. A month later, he came back with a laugh I hadn't heard before. "Doc, I don't know what happened, but my mind isn't sabotaging me anymore. I go into the moment calm and my body follows." That's the power of mental rehearsal. And here's the beauty of it. Visualization doesn't take hours. It takes 60 seconds. Sit quietly. Close your eyes. Picture yourself as the man you want to be, strong, energized, confident. See yourself waking up vibrant. See yourself walking with presence. See yourself in the bedroom, connected, responsive, alive. The clearer the image, the stronger the signal to your nervous system. Gentlemen, your mind and body are not separate players, they are partners. And when your mind sees success, your body is far more likely to deliver it. Visualization is not thinking young. It is training your biology to respond like it once did and like it still can. So tomorrow morning, after you've written down your gratitude, close your eyes and paint the picture. See the man you know you still are, hold that image. Let your nervous system drink it in. And then we take it one step further. Because once your mind is primed, it's time to move your body. Not with heavy weights, not with complicated routines, but with a simple wide stance movement that drives blood exactly where you need it most. Gentlemen, after you've hydrated, stepped into the morning sun, steadied your breath, delayed your breakfast, practiced gratitude, and sharpened your mind with visualization, it's time to do something many men forget entirely. Move your body in a way that restores blood to its foundation. I'm not talking about lifting heavy weights or running miles at dawn. I'm talking about a simple, gentle movement, standing with your feet wide apart, knees slightly bent, and swinging your arms for just 2 minutes. It looks almost too easy, but it may be one of the most powerful steps in this entire routine. Why? Because the muscles and vessels of your pelvis, the very region that supports erections, prostate health, and stability, often grow stagnant with age. Most men over 60 spend decades sitting in chairs, driving cars, or resting on couches. Hours of sitting compress the pelvis, weaken the pelvic floor, and limit circulation. That lack of blood flow doesn't just stiffen your back, it robs your manhood of the very fuel it needs. When you take a wide stance and begin to move, you're doing several things at once. You're opening the pelvic region, creating space for blood to circulate freely. You're activating your posterior chain, the muscles in your hips, lower back, and legs that stabilize your body. And when you swing your arms gently, you're not just moving muscle, you're stimulating your lymphatic system, draining inflammation, and signaling your body to wake up and flow. I'll share a story. A retired teacher named Frank, age 67, came to me not just with erectile concerns, but with stiffness in his lower back and hips. He said, "Doc, I feel locked up not just in my body, but in my confidence." I showed him this simple movement, feet shoulder-width apart, knees soft, arms swinging gently like a pendulum. He chuckled, "That's it, that's your big solution. I told him try it daily for a month, then tell me if it's nothing. 4 weeks later, Frank returned with a grin. Doc, I'm looser, my back isn't screaming when I get out of bed, and I'll just say it plainly, my erections are back. Not every time, not perfect, but stronger than I've felt in years. He paused, his eyes moist. I didn't realize how much I missed that part of myself. That's the lesson here. Sometimes the simplest movements unlock the deepest results. You don't need equipment, you don't need a gym. You need 2 minutes space to stand and the willingness to move. And here's the physiology behind Frank's results. Erections are a vascular event. They depend on the ability of arteries in the pelvis to open wide and fill tissue with blood. But blood doesn't flow well into stagnant muscles. Gentle, rhythmic motion increases nitric oxide release, enhances arterial flexibility, and encourages fresh circulation exactly where it's needed. Even better, these movements strengthen the pelvic floor muscles, the hidden support system of male vitality. Weak pelvic muscles are linked to urinary problems, prostate issues, and erectile dysfunction. Strong pelvic muscles, on the other hand, are like the foundation of a house. They hold everything steady. This 2-minute practice begins rebuilding that foundation. And there's something else. Movement has a psychological effect. When you swing your arms and feel your body loosen, you reconnect to yourself. You remind your mind that you're not fragile, you're not broken, you're alive, mobile, and capable of change. For many men, that shift in identity is just as powerful as the shift in blood flow. So tomorrow morning, after your water, your sunlight, your breathing, your fast, your gratitude, and your visualization, stand tall. Step your feet apart, bend your knees slightly, and swing your arms for 2 minutes. Let the blood move. Feel your body respond. Remind yourself that circulation is life and you are in charge of it. It may look simple, it may feel too easy, but easy does not mean weak. Easy means sustainable, and sustainable is how you win this battle over time. Gentlemen, when you commit to this wide stance movement, you are reclaiming circulation, strengthening your foundation, and giving your erections the best chance to return naturally. And now we bring it all together. Because once you've practiced these 7 steps, it's time for the conclusion. The moment where I remind you why your mornings, your erections, and your vitality are not just about today, but about protecting your manhood for the years ahead. Gentlemen, you've just walked through a 7-step routine that has the power to change not only your mornings, but the course of your health, your confidence, and your manhood. Let's remind ourselves what we've built together. Step 1, you primed your body with hydration, filtered water and lemon to awaken your liver and clear away the hormones that steal your strength. Step 2, you stepped into the morning sun, resetting your rhythm and sparking testosterone the way nature intended. In Step 3, you steadied your breath with alternate nostril breathing, shifting your nervous system out of stress and into restoration, releasing nitric oxide, the very molecule that makes erections possible. Step 4, you delayed breakfast, letting your body finish its work, melting fat and protecting your testosterone from the silent sabotage of early insulin spikes. Step 5, you practiced gratitude, lowering cortisol, softening your vessels, and reminding your body what intimacy feels like. Step 6, you used visualization to rewire your brain, training it to see the man you still are and preparing your nervous system to deliver. Step 7, you stepped wide, swung your arms, and sent blood back into the foundation of your masculinity. None of these steps are complicated. None require a prescription, a machine, or a wallet-draining treatment plan. But together, they form a powerful rhythm, a daily discipline that restores energy, balance, and vitality. I've seen these exact practices transform the lives of men who thought decline was inevitable. Men who thought they were too old, too far gone, too broken. They weren't, and neither are you. Aging is real, but decline is optional. So here's my encouragement. Do not treat this as information to file away. Treat it as a blueprint to act upon. Tomorrow morning, start. Drink the water, step into the light. Breathe with intention, wait before you eat, write down what you're grateful for, close your eyes and see yourself strong, stand wide and move, then repeat it the next day and the next. Consistency is the quiet engine of change. And let me ask you one thing, if this routine has given you hope, hit the like button right now. Not because I need it, but because every like pushes men's health into the spotlight, making sure thousands of men just like you hear the truth instead of silence. And if you haven't subscribed, do it today. That way you'll never miss the next routine, the next lesson, the next key to unlocking the vitality you still have inside you. And finally, leave me a comment. If this spoke to you, type 1. If you think I can make it stronger, type 0. I read everyone because this podcast isn't just my voice. It's a conversation. It's a community. Gentlemen, you are not broken. You are not finished. Your best years are not behind you. With discipline, patience, and belief, they are still ahead, and I'll be here every week guiding you forward. So until next time, stay strong, stay steady, and remember, your mornings are the foundation of your manhood. Protect them well.